Hello, everyone. Hey, everybody. Can you guys hear me? I have a microphone, but I wouldn't begin to know if I can plug it in and use it somehow with my phone. In any event, welcome to Miss Trina TV. I said I'm going to just start going live as I work on different projects and let you guys just keep me company. And in the event that you want to do any of this stuff, learn any of this stuff, I have a link I can send to you. And you can take a class for a little less than nothing for about the cost of a cup of coffee. So these are the colors in my inspiration piece. I'm going to make a design to go on the door of one of the on the farm on the door of the trailer, one of the farms. So I've got some different. My biggest one is my burlap, so that'll be my base. These are the same size. I want to say they're both 3.5 inches. Each digit of your finger is 1 inch. Yes, 3 inches. That's 3 inches. That's 3. Wait a minute. Yep, that's 3 inches. That's 1.5 inch. And that's 3 inches. So this will be a big bow. It'll be chunky, but it doesn't mean I have to overdo it. So I chose these colors to correspond with the colors in my inspiration piece. If I lose the camera, y'all have to forgive me. I am not okay, let me try to loosen this up first. Tighten it. That's so much sturdier. So I hope that holds tight. So I got this. You see the tag, $7.99, Ollie's. So what I'm going to do, ooh, this thing just does not want to stay tight. It just dies. It bends over like it's just having a meltdown. Let me try to just stand it all the way up. And don't put any gravity on it. No pull on it. Other than from here. And I will simply tilt that down. Oh man. It's on my mouth. Okay. Might be tilting down. Okay, let's just try to tilt the camera and not the light. Oh, this thing is getting on my nerves. But if you want to see what all I've got kind of going on over here, I've got my glue gun going on. I've got a few pieces of deco match from a different job, a different wreath that I worked on that was just kind of left over. I'm going to put that to use. I've got the 10-yard mesh from, I believe it was Hobby Lobby. I've got a couple of blank signs. One is shaped like a honeycomb and the other is just a rectangle. Hold on. 1 second. Trying to stop my charger from falling. mesh, blank size, scissors, wire cutters, and some sticks. So I'm just gonna put you guys back up here, and hopefully you'll be able to just hang out and see what I'm doing. Hey, Maddie. Huh? You kind of sound like Bang Chan from Stray Kids, and yes, that's a huge compliment. Trust me, he's so handsome. Google it if you can. I don't know if I want to sound like no handsome man, but thank you, I guess. Let me get a twist tie. Not a twist tie, that. I still can't think of the name. A zip tie. So I am going to just start by measuring my tail. And I don't want it to come down too far. So I'm just going to start right over in here. This burlap is not wired, but it's stiff enough. And if you want your bows to be perfect, then you just use your mat or your ruler so that you can measure your loops. I just kind of do it the old school way and pull both loops until they get to be the same size. And then we also know that they're the same length. So I'm gonna check them one more time. That's good enough. And I'm gonna cut. And I'm gonna wish I had a bow maker by the time this one is done. I can see already that it's gonna be thick, thick, thick. This ribbon is the same on both sides, and so I don't need to twist. And I'm not gonna talk my way through this tutorial. I'm gonna talk about what I did this week. You just pay attention. If you've got any questions, stick them in the comment box, and I will respond when I see your question. So we had a very productive week in Camden, getting some work done on the house up there. We got the water hooked up to the fridge. We got, wait a minute now. What the hell? Sometimes you got to start over. And if you don't have sense enough to realize ain't nothing wrong with that, I don't know what to tell you. Because if I can't figure it out, I starts over. Now, that's a little bit more logical and a little bit more organized, if I got to tell it. Now, we cooking with Crisco, see? So we got the refrigerator hooked up to water so that the ice maker would work and so that the filter on the door would provide cold water. We got the washer and dryer hooked up. Well, actually, we got the washer hooked up. The dryer, the only thing that remains to be hooked up there is that the vent has to go on, the little metal vent that carries the hot air from the back of the dryer to the pipe that takes it out of the house. So we washed a load of clothes for the first time in the new washer and dryer that's in there. And we dried a load of clothes. And I washed walls in the Langston room. And we measured for new doors. We got a new security keypads and stuff put in, new thermostats put in. So we had a really productive week. And the good thing about being on the farm is even though you're getting a lot of work done, it still feels like you're getting rest because there's not any hustle and bustle around you. Like there's no traffic going up and down the street. There's no ambient noise from anything else going on around you. The only thing you're going to hear are the cows and maybe some birds. Used to hear a lot of goats. We don't have any goats right now, but you're going to hear the animals and you're going to hear nature, and that's it. You're not going to hear from many people unless they're deliberately coming to see you. There's no people passing by our place when we're in court. You have to be coming to the trailer to get to the trailer. It's not a happen upon destination. It's a search till you find it type destination. So it's always restful when we are up there, even if we're working. So I'm gonna come this way with this one. So we caught up on a lot of much needed rest. Remember, we're just coming back from a long flight to and from Italy, where we had an absolute ball hanging with Moose's folks from Liberia. Me and Doc and Queen was in there. It was mine and Doc's 30-year wedding anniversary going on at the same time. So we turned up in Italy. We really did. And it was just spectacular. Like Musa for president. It was like, chef's kiss. The castle was like impeccable. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And the party, you know, my Aunt Dee Dee taught me something so profound. She said, your party is your guest list. Your party will only ever be as good as your guest list. And man, oh man, oh man, is that the truest thing I've ever heard. Musa had an incredible guest list. His friends and family from Liberia were all just so classy and refined. Now, don't get me wrong now. When the Biggie Smalls came on, they dropped it like it was hot. Don't get it twisted. But at the end of the day, everyone was so dignified and set apart. And you just kind of knew that you were rubbing elbows with a very elite group of residents from the beautiful coastal nation of Liberia and West Africa, which was the only African country to be colonized by who? The United States of America. And therefore, their capital, Monrovia, was named after President James Monroe and all of that kind of stuff. And there was a movement after 1863 where many African Americans who had survived the peculiar institution that we call, if by no other name, American slavery. Many of them returned to Liberia and set up homes and businesses and reclaimed their place on the continent. And so for them, we are just always so proud of them. We are always so proud because that was not an easy thing to do. And they did it. And they've done it well. And just a good, clean group of folks who knew how to have fun, and even though they had it going on, everybody was down to earth and no airs, and it was just it was refreshing. It was a breath of fresh air. My friend Queen, who traveled with my husband and I, it was her first trip across the pond, and she said she just took in so much. It was just so many things that she wasn't expecting to see or learn or find out about, that she just kind of did. And it was really refreshing. And I think she just literally enjoyed every moment of it. Now, she does want to go back. She wants to brave that flight once more to go to Paris. And I told her it's going to be a completely different side of Europe, but it would be a beautiful trip as well. And I would help her to try to realize that bucket list item as well. You know, we put stuff on your bucket list for a reason, and the main reason is to check it off, to get it done, especially when it's travel. Get it done. Just go and see. You never will know what's going on in another country until you go and see. And so we went, we saw Venuto, Venice, and Conegliano. Conegliano is really where we spent most of our time, which is a suburb about maybe about 30 miles outside of Venice. Beautiful little town. Nice and authentically Italian, not over touristy, not overpriced like Venice City itself. Set apart, and also it was close to where the Prosecco winery was. In our first event that we attended was there at the Prosecco winery, and so we got to see where Prosecco is made. And Musa is a big importer of Prosecco. He imports to his beachside resort in Liberia, in Robertsport. It's called Nana's Lodge. And he imports Prosecco to his lounge. And so the team from Prosecco was right there every step of the way, making sure that we never ran out of Prosecco. Our cups stayed full. I thought it didn't taste very strong. It was just a really pleasant taste. But unfortunately, I underestimated it. I got juiced up. Juiced up. I didn't even realize I was juiced up until I was trying to talk. But yeah, the Prosecco had me sauced. I was leaning a little bit. Oh, if this boat comes apart, I'm going to just start screaming and pulling out here. I'm almost there. This was the last ribbon. Come on. I got to find my way. I think that's it right there. So I'm coming in with the twist tie. Oh, please, let this be the right place. And we had a ball. We went up to the castle, way up on top of the mountain, overlooking the whole place, vineyards all around, and it was just spectacular. It was impeccable, and it's one of those things that pictures don't do it much justice. You would have to go and see. You would have to go and see Castello i Venti. It is a marvel. Like, built at like a real fortress. Like, if it came down to like war or something and people were inside that castle, hiding. You're not getting in there to them. You can forget it because it's a real castle. It's a real fortress. But it's still so beautiful. It had a big well down in the middle, like a water cistern. This thing just came apart. I'm about to kill myself. OMG. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say I am about to scream. I'm so sorry. I apologize, YouTube. So I'm starting over for the third time. And this is definitely a bow that should have had a bow maker to hold it for me, because each of these 4-inch or 3.5, what did we say they were, 3-inch? This is 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Each of these 2.5s are thick. They're thick. So finding that middle and keeping that middle is a challenge. But it's already cut. And so I'm going to have to just take my time. Get in here and get it right. Okay, there we go. Twist. Okay. Right there. When your ribbon is only one-sided, you know, you got to twist. Let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in some tutorials where I actually do like talk you through every single thing that I'm doing and not just talking about something different and working and, you know, just having you kind of staring and trying to figure out what it is that I just did. I'm not sure what the order was for these ribbons the first time around. I'm going to try to get it back in the same order, but if I don't come hollering at me. It's not that serious. It's a design. It can change. It can be customized to your liking. You may not like all of these different patterns. You may want one pattern and the rest of your ribbons to be solid. Do you? Please do, because I'm definitely going to do me. So there's no hard feelings there. Got a new plant for my anniversary gift. And it's a Benjamina ficus tree. And she's so pretty. But you know how finicky a ficus is. I've been playing soft music for that tree since it's gotten here. And talking to that tree so nice and sweet since it's gotten here. And it was doing so well. And then when Doc and I left and went to the country and stayed in the country for about a week, it came back, half the leaves were on the floor. It just threw a fit on Maya and just dumped half the leaves on the floor. But that's what a ficus will do. Doc and I had a ficus one time when we lived in Hartford. We had a cute little condominium on Maple Avenue. And we had a ficus tree in there for about a year that never gave us any problems. And then one day, I decided to move it from one side of the dining room to the other. It was still right there near the patio and the window and everything, but it was just from one corner of the room to the other on the same wall. That tree had a fit and dropped every last leaf on the ground. It did not want to be moved. And so I knew for sure that that Monica finicky ficus is real. It's very real. I'm going to stop here and tie off, and then I'll have to add the rest of my ribbons on layer, layer, layer like that. Because I I'm coming. I don't want to run the risk of doing what it did before and missing some of the ribbons. Now I've made a mess over here. It's all sloppy. So do excuse my mess. But I've only got one hand while I'm trying to tie this ribbon. And I have to make sure to get all of the ribbon in here this time. Come on, thing. Come on, thing. Yeah, that's tight. And I'm gonna cut that. And it looks tore up right now. But by the time I'm done fluffing, see, one jumped out. That wasn't supposed to jump out. By the time I'm done fluffing, it should be good. I'm gonna have to tie that one with a twist tie because it jumped out. It wasn't in there well. All right, which ones am I missing? I'm missing these two. So this one was just a half loop and a tail, like that, and like that. And it's gonna go down the middle, like that. This one was the one that jumped out, so it's gonna come in here to the middle, like that. And this is our thin one. And it jumped out before. It was the first one to jump out before. I'm just gonna try to straighten it back out. And cut it. You need to cut it. All right, let's try it. So I'm gonna gather it and hope that this works. I'll make that loop a lot smaller than the other ones have been, so that it graduates down. So, on the flight over there, I was absolutely miserable because I had gotten my hair done the day before we left in a ponytail, and it was so unrealistically tight. It was pulling my brains out. In fact, right now I still have scabs in the top of my head where it had pulled to the point where it made bumps. And then for me, like, digging and trying to get some relief, I broke the skin where the bumps were. So I've got like scabs all on top of my head from this ridiculously tight ponytail. I didn't even get to go to my event with the ponytail in. It was hurting so bad, it had to come out. It was just no more. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't function, I couldn't do anything because of this painful ponytail. I just was in, like, disbelief. So Doc and Queen literally had to wrestle it out of my head. And the flight back was much better because I was able to get some sleep on the flight back. I got 0 sleep on the flight over there, and I'm normally like out cold on an airplane. Like, I can barely stay awake on an airplane. Well, this is the first time I flew international, was on the plane over 8-9 hours, and did not go to sleep. And it was because my head was just like Boom, digga-doom, booka-doom, boom, boom. It was hurting. So, needless to say, I won't be getting any more ponytails. I guess that's for the young girls, like I said they were. My best friend said, nah, that's not for young girl. You can get one. And, I mean, it was cute. I got compliments on it. It was boring. It was straight back. It didn't have any sculpted swoop and stuff like she told me to get, but I did get compliments on it because it was definitely neat as a pin. But I didn't care about none of that because it hurt so bad. Like, you can keep that neat as a pin, hurting ponytail. So, that was that. And I'm going to make it so I can add this pipe cleaner so that when I get ready to put my bow on, I'll have a lot to work with. All right. If you've got fringes and not fringes, but like stray strings and stuff on your crafts, take the time to cut the frays and stuff. It's gonna make for a much neater final project. And that's it. That's the bow. It just has to be flat. Ooh, that bow looks like it's been through war. But don't worry. All we're gonna do is start pulling them and flattening out the tops. They're wired. Everything is wired except for that burlap. So everything except for that burlap is supposed to stand up and behave for you and go wherever you put it. And then keep in mind, once you get it on the actual project, on your design, you're going to be gluing it down anyway. So I'm just going to use my vitamin bottle and curl this and pull it tight. And I'm going to use this for the same thing. So all my curls have the same width about them. And then I'm going to make sure everything is dovetailed. And dovetailing is simple. You're touching together both the tops. You're coming up at an angle. That gives you the dovetail. That gives you the dovetail. So I talked to my mom today. I haven't told her I was crafting today. Normally I'll send my mom a picture. She's the crafter of all crafters. I'll send her a picture of something, and a week or so later she'll send me a picture back where she has made it. And hers is cuter than the original. So I haven't sent her any wreath pics. I put them on Facebook, but she's not on Facebook. So I always have to send stuff to her individually. And I haven't sent any wreath pics yet, but once I do, she'll be like, oh my goodness. I need to make some wreaths for my door. So I might just send her one of my wreath kits. And if you want me to send you a wreath kit as well, just type sold, SOLD, kit, KIT, in the comments. And I'll send you an invoice. Wreath kits are flat rate, 75 bucks. And I'm going to give you some deluxe or at least exquisite ribbons. And every other pick, spray, or flower that I use to make a particular design. And so if I put up a wreath and you like it, you have two options. You can buy the wreath kit and make it yourself, or you can buy the one that I made if you get to it before it's gone. I don't know why that burlap is giving me the blues, and it does not want to dovetail nicely, but I'm not finna fight with it. I'm just gonna keep it pushing because one ribbon is not gonna stop this show. And so I haven't put any wreaths on the Dr. Berry MD website, but I guess I can, or on my Shopify store, which is drberryshop.com. But either there or www.drberrymd.com will probably be the place where I will put up some kits for y'all to be able to get your holiday wreaths, whether it's Halloween. I've got Halloween coming. I've got fall wreaths, and of course, Christmas and Kwanzaa. So whichever holiday you'd like a wreath for your door to represent, let me know. I'll put the kit together, $75. We'll get the kit sent out to you. You put the wreath together. If you want me to put the wreath together, it's going to cost you a little bit more, but it will be literally straight out the box. You'll be able to just fluff it like you see me doing here. Put it on your door and just wow your family and friends with the beauty of these wreaths. So this is still looking crazy, and that's okay because it's a bow. That's what bows do for a while. It'll come together. Tongue and teeth may fall out, but they'll soon come back together. So I'm going to put it to the side for now. It's going to be up here kind of like this, and it'll work. It will work. We may have to put some more tails in there from the thinner ribbon, but it will work. So normally if I've got push pins, like sewing pins, I'll take a sewing pin, put it in there to hold the rolls. I'm not in my shed, however, in my she shed. I am actually in the guest bedroom, so I don't have my sewing cushion with my push pins. So for now, I'm just gonna roll these ribbons and get them put away. That way it's not looking so crazy. I wonder if I could go in with some floral wire and some hot glue and actually wire a piece of my burlap for a ribbon so that I can manipulate it and make it stand up how I want it. It sounds totally feasible. I've just never done it. But I'd be interested to try it just to see how it turns out. Give me a second to clean up this mess. And then we might actually put some stuff together. It won't take long now that the bow is done. I've got scissors. I've got wire cutters. I've got mesh. I've got sticks. I'm going to move my bow. Put it on top of the refrigerator. Put these there. And my glue sticks here. And now, we're cooking with Crisco. I need to go get a Clorox wipe. Always wipe your workstation down. I try to wipe it down with rubbing alcohol, 91% alcohol, with Lysol wipes, or with Clorox wipes, or with hand sanitizer on a paper towel, just so that you're keeping your wreath and your materials and everything as germ-free as possible. Okay. So what I'm going to try next, never did this before, winging it at this point. Don't know if any of what I'm going to do will work, but common sense tells me it should. Let's just hope that I'm not overestimating common sense. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna glue these sticks and make it so that I have something else to hold on to. I'm gonna put them right down the middle of each of these window frames. I'm gonna treat those 4 like window frames. Try to get them as flush as possible with the bottom of the board. And I am going to put the glue on this side of the stick, just so that you know that you are on top of the crossbar, right? Common sense is telling me to do that. And we know common sense ain't so common these days. So just bear with me. I'm just gonna roll it over. Remembering to try to get it flush. Same here. Flush and in the middle of the squares. So that's down. And I'll go back with my glue gun. Sorry for bumping the camera. I'll go back with my glue gun and just put a little bit there, just to reinforce it, strengthen it. Uh-oh, missed right there. Strengthen it. And make sure it's got more integrity. So now that I've done that, I am going to prepare this for a front door wreath. This is going to be the piece de resistance. The pièce de résistance. So, I have a lot of doors. If you watched my last video, I talked about that. To decorate, there are double doors here at the house in Mobile. So that's 2 downstairs. There is another door up here where I'm working at that leads out to the Romeo and Juliet balcony. So that's 3 doors. There's a door to the chicken coop here. I always keep a wreath on the chicken coop. So that's 4. Door to the front of the ranch house that faces First Street. That's 5. Door to the carport. Door to the help entrance. That's 6, 7. Door to the admin office. That's 8. Door to the trailer, to the double wide. 9. To the cottage is 10. So that's a lot of doors. And if I were to pay somebody to make all those wreaths for me, for all those doors, for 10 different, 10 different wreaths every season, for Valentine's Day, for Easter, for 4th of July, I keep my 4th of July up to Labor Day, so for early fall, for Halloween, for late fall, Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for Kwanzaa, for New Year, for Valentine's Day, for Mardi Gras. That is a lot of ribbons when you need 10 for each holiday. So, I mean, not ribbons. Why do I keep saying ribbons? A bon barrette. A lot of wreaths. So, for years and years and years and years now, probably about 10 or 15 or 20 years, I've been making my own wreaths. Because if I can buy the stuff, it'll save me to just take my time and do it myself. And plus it allows me to customize them and make them exactly how I'd like to see them with whatever colors and ribbon combinations, all that kind of stuff. And it's fun. It's definitely fun to craft. My mother is a crafter. She can sew like it's nobody's business. She can cook. She can cook. Oh, she can cook. When we were kids, she would melt soap and re-pour soap, candles. I don't really remember candles so much, but I wouldn't be surprised. She used to sell Mary Kay, could do makeup really well, and she can. And she can make wine. Now, she ain't finna make no wine now because she real saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, honey. Apostolic. So she's not finna make no wine no more in this lifetime, but she used to be able to make really good wine from hand-picked grapes, like bullets that we would pick as children. She would make it with rice and with yeast and sugar. And it would be sweet like port wine. It would sure enough get you drunk now. And it was good. Like people used to like really rave about how good her wine would come out. She used to have a great big white plastic keg. Don't ask me where she got that white plastic keg from, but that's what she would use to make wine in. And it would be, you know, a couple gallons, I suppose, by the time she was done. But I just remember her constantly adding sugar. And she didn't have to keep adding yeast as much as she did sugar. And she didn't have to keep adding rice as much as she did sugar. But I remember her adding a lot of sugar. I'm just trying to decide here if I want a tie here, and I don't because it's going to show. These aren't going to show because I'm going to make sure I've got mesh going through here. So what I want to do before I glue them is slide them down as much as possible. Anytime you're working with these Chanel pipe cleaners, that's what they were in the 70s. I don't know what they call them nowadays, but we call them pipe cleaners. You have to twist them tight. And right now I'm just going in and putting a dot of glue up under each knot where the knots twist together to try to help stabilize my ties. Done with this side. Gonna pop in another glue stick. You will be amazed at how many glue sticks you go through for just one project. Like, you go through a lot. Easily 6 or 7 glue sticks from start to finish. Especially if it's a big wreath. Maybe you can get away with about 5, but don't know. That might mean you've been stingy with the glue. So this is going to turn into something gorgeous. So I'm going to start with these that are already cut. Remember, these were left over from a different project, so we don't have many, and we got to work with what we've got because I don't have another roll of this green buffalo check. Not that I'm aware of. I don't have another roll on hand. Might have some where I least expect it. But for now, we're just operating under the premise that this is all we've got. So I'm going to be strategic in my placement. If I put one there, I'm going down the opposite way. Put one here. Okay. This will give me some more surface to glue onto and to stick things onto. This one's going in the middle. So normally it takes me about maybe an hour. If I'm doing a conventional read, this one is a bit unconventional. I'm kind of winging it and figuring it out as I go. But oh, that's gonna be pretty already. Sure is. Look at that. So I'm gonna open this one. This mesh has a little leopard print going on, stripes across it. So it's cute, it's bougie enough. Okay, I am opening up this deco mesh. Let's cut and talk. So right now I'm really at a crossroads because I have too many irons in the fire and not enough active help. I have help if I call on help and if I go through a lot of explaining as far as what I need done. But I don't have the type of help like I would be if I were someone's assistant or employee. Like, I like to self-motivate and figure out problems. I'm a problem solver. And that's kind of what I need right now to help me with some of the major projects that I have. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a pretty dynamic staff. I've got 1, 2, okay, wait a minute. Okay, I got about 7 people right now. Contractors primarily. But I don't have time to make, to maximize the use of their abilities. They all come with very unique and polished skill sets. But the amount of time it would take for me to either train or delegate a lot of stuff, I just say, let me do it myself. Because by the time I try to show somebody else how to do it, I could be done with it. So I had thought that what I would do is use Scribe, you know, to screen record while I'm working, so that I wouldn't have to re-show this person or that person, one person at a time. I could just send them the Scribe video. But my staff was so like indignant about Scribe. They were not feeling Scribe. They said it's for old people, okay? So I really don't know what else to do with these New Jack vendors and staff members and contractors, because I don't have time to train them. I want to do the trainings by way of video, so that I can just send it to them. Sometimes I'll be up doing a video 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and just, I'd be able to send it to them, but they weren't feeling Scribe at all, and it's not a free service. Well, I mean, you can get a couple of free Scribes, but I think I had maxed out. It told me something like I had used all 10 of my free Scribes or something, and it was time for me to like upgrade my plan. So wasn't no way I was gonna do that when my staff was telling me they didn't want it. You have to listen to the feedback from the staff. Communication in a business can't just be one way. It can't be top to bottom. It's got to be fluid. It's got to be bottom to the top, top to the bottom, and every which way in between. Otherwise, you will not recognize where your weaknesses lie, and you will not maximize the opportunities to improve upon those weaknesses. You should constantly, as a business owner, be running your SWOT analysis, looking at your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats, at least on a semi-annual basis. But if you've got it well running, you got your thing hitting on all cylinders, your business performance and your quality assurance measures and stuff, at least quarterly, I would say you should be reviewing and looking at those things and improving upon your procedures, your standard operating procedures, as much as possible, because the more you can get your procedures down precisely, the more you will be prepared and ready to scale. It makes no sense to scale when you haven't figured out your systems and you haven't refined your systems, because the only thing you're going to make are bigger problems. Once you've got your systems down pat and you've tested them, they're tried, they're true, you've recorded and documented what the tests have revealed to you, then you can have a conversation, and you might be in a position to consider scaling. But that's not anything you're going to do right off the gate. Even if you luck up and you start a business and you get a lot of support, a lot of feedback, and a lot of participation, a lot of customers right away, that's not necessarily scaling. That's just kind of lady luck was on your side and you did real well coming out the door. Scaling is being able to duplicate that process over and over again and have it come out the same way every time. Your product come out the same way every time, because you're following the same process every time. That's when you're doing it. That's when your burger's gonna taste the same, whether you're making it at McDonald's in Paris or McDonald's in Fairbanks, Alaska. That machine, that's similar process, using the same products, using the same method, the same methodology,